Okay, Manchester United have completed the record transfer fee with Leicester City for a defender with Harry Maguire going for £80 million. And I will say this. As soon as Harry Maguire came out and said that he wanted to move on because of all the speculation from Leicester to Manchester United, Leicester City pretty much had to let him go or whatever offer was coming their way, which was about 80 million. They wanted over 100 million for Harry Maguire a month and a half ago at the beginning of the transfer window, and Manchester United were inquiring after his services. Now, Leicester City have done something that Manchester United haven't been able to do in recent years, and that is scout talent and sign talent cheaply. They've been able to scout younger players and those underrated or those little gems in the transfer market and sign them up cheaply. So with this 80 million that they've just received, they could probably sign 3 or 4 players and replace Harry Maguire quite easily and also add further talent and depth to their squad. Manchester United, on the other hand, have a problem with overpaying for players and then getting stuck with them. Pogba and Sanchez are screaming out as bad transfers that Manchester United have made in the last couple of years. Manchester United have had a habit of making these bad transfer decisions and it backfiring on them. Now, Harry Maguire, is he a good player? Yes. Is he worth 80 million? No. Not even close. I think Leicester City have deliberately overvalued him to protect the player from being sold. And in the end, what it has done is they've sold him for above market value. So Manchester United were that desperate for an improvement at centre-back, they were willing to pay over market value to get that player. Now Harry Maguire has this weight around his neck to live up to expectation. He's won the Premier League with Leicester when he wasn't expected to do so. He's played very well with Leicester since they won the Premier League. He's earned his right to be one of the number 1 centre-backs in the England squad. He's ahead of Smalling and Jones, his future Manchester United teammates, in the pecking order. He's overtaken Smalling and Jones, to be fair, in just 3 or 4 years. He's better than them. Smalling didn't even make it to the squad last year at the World Cup. Jones barely played a minute at the World Cup last year. He's ahead of them in the pecking order for Gareth Southgate, so that's a starting point, but he's not worth 80 million. He's not. Virgil van Dijk, possibly the best defender in the Premier League, is not worth 75 million, in my view. I think Liverpool overpaid for his services. Now, he has paid them back with some great performances in 2 Champions League finals and a Champions League winners' medal. But again, I think the transfer market is overinflated. I think selling clubs have the power to set how much they really are expecting for a transfer to go. So they raise the price, and the buying club at some point gets so desperate that they're willing to pay the fee. Manchester United were willing to pay the fee. But Manchester United have a history of bad transfers. Paul Pogba and Alexis Sanchez are screaming out as bad transfers. Screaming out. Now, Pogba, we don't know what's happening with Pogba in the next couple of weeks. Sanchez, they can't even offload his contract to anyone because of his wage demands. You just have to look at that. So Harry Maguire is leaving a club that's full of positivity under Brendan Rodgers. Very positive environment. And he's going to a club in Manchester United where the environment seems to be toxic. And a lot of it's to do with behind the scenes on the business side of things. And a lot of it is in the playing group side of things. Now, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in a catch-22. He's on a hiding to nothing. A lot of fans want him to fail. Some fans want him to succeed. But the damage done since Ferguson retired, with all the managers, the lack of success, they've only got a couple of trophies in there. I think there's an FA Cup and there's a Europa League in there. That's the only silverware, and I think a Charity Shield. That's all they've won since Ferguson decided to retire as Manchester United manager. They haven't really continued the momentum that Ferguson had. They've made some really bizarre transfer decisions, made some poor appointments in the manager's hot seat. I think Van Gaal was possibly the best out of the bunch. I think Van Gaal should he have gone to Man United a few seasons earlier? Should Ferguson have retired earlier? Possibly, but Van Gaal had a prickly relationship with the media. But it's been an issue for a while, and they all have a different style of playing. Mourinho got really confused tactics in there. That was some really painful football. Solskjaer, I will admit, with Solskjaer, there was that initial optimism when he started, and then it sort of tapered off. Solskjaer has come out and stated that there needs to be changes in the playing squad. He has made some transfers. Maguire is the latest. There is more to come, I think, in the next week or so. I think Man United are going to make some more transfer business, be it selling or buying. The Pogba situation, we shall find out. Sanchez, will they offload him? That's all yet to come. But for now, they've got Maguire, but they've paid too much for him. And it is a world record fee, but I think it's too much. And now it's going to weigh around Maguire's neck. He has to live up to £80 million billing now. He has to play out of his skin to warrant that transfer fee. But Manchester United were the ones willing to pay it. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Place your thoughts below, and I'll have some more videos for you soon.